Welcome to my channel. I am so grateful that you are here. My name is Nikki, and I use my clairaudient and channeling abilities to help people find the magic within. If you're new here, welcome. Please be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you will be notified when I upload new videos every week. Today, I will be channeling messages from the 1993 film, What's Love Got to Do With It? Directed by Brian Gibson, starring Angela Bassett and Lawrence Fishburne. This film is the story of Tina Turner's life, how she rose to fame, and also the details of a very toxic relationship that she experienced when she was with Ike. And what's interesting is I'm drawn to the title of this film. What's Love Got to Do With It? You would think that this, from the title, is a love story. And in a way it is, but it's a love story in the sense of self-love. This is Tina Turner's story about how she grew to value herself, how she rose into the divine feminine that she is, and how she overcame so many obstacles in her life to get to the point of where she is now. And this is one of my favorite movies of all time. In 1993, I was 9 years old, and I would watch this movie on repeat because it impacted me so much. And I just watched it last night, and it'd been a little while since I've seen it, but I now know why I felt so connected to it. This is also a very spiritual movie, and when Tina Turner finally has a spiritual awakening in the film and she finds meditation and she learns to become strong in mind, body, and spirit, that affected me on a soul level when I witnessed that in the film. So I felt called to channel some messages from this movie because we are still in February. It is the season of love, but one thing that I think is so important when it comes to relationships is having self-love for yourself, valuing yourself. And Tina Turner's story really epitomizes that. You see how she didn't value herself at the beginning of her journey and how she gets stronger and stronger as the film goes on and how she just rises into this fierce phoenix. So there are a lot of messages coming through from this film, and I am so excited to do these readings for you. So in the next part of the video, you will see 3 different piles. Please meditate on the pile that is speaking to you and go to the timestamps that I provide down below to go directly to your reading from there. Also, if any part of a message does not resonate, just know that message is not for you. Don't try to force something that does not fit. Only take what resonates and leave what does not. Let's jump into these channeled messages from the film, What's Love Got to Do With It? Hello, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. What are your channeled messages from the film, What's Love Got to Do With It? I have your pile right here. Let's see what your cards say. Your first card is Mother Mary, Love and Peace. Let go of the need to be right. Choose peace. Mother healing is possible at this time. So with this card, what I'm drawn to the most is mother healing is possible at this time. Spirit is showing me that there have been strained moments in time between you and your mother. And specifically in the film What's Love Got to Do with It, Tina Turner had a very strained relationship with her mother as well. In the beginning of the film, she comes home after having been singing at the church to see that her mother is leaving, and she leaves Tina behind. And Tina doesn't understand. She talks to her grandma and she's like, is she coming back? And her grandma's like, no, honey, she's not coming back. So Spirit is showing me there's some dynamics like this that have played out in your life as well, where perhaps your mother left at a very young age, when you were a young age, or just some type of abandonment wound going on here, and other dynamics between mother and child that I'm seeing very strongly here. But as Tina gets older, she reunites with her mother, and she actually finds forgiveness. Her mother still has a narcissistic tendency to her in the film, but Tina decided to create her own happiness and forgive her mother. And that's what Spirit's message is here. So if you've experienced hardships with your in your life, Spirit is saying that it is essential to forgive. This is very reminiscent within ancestral healing. And when we forgive, we're not saying that we're condoning the behavior that your mother did. It's saying that it's setting yourself free to create your own happiness and not let that pain affect you anymore. And that's how you really heal from it, by seeing the situation and your mother as she really is. Because I'm being shown this scene after Tina and Ike in the film, they come into a large sum of money, and her mother says to her, don't you forget about your blood. And you see Tina kind of taken aback a little bit, and she's like, no, Mom, I'm not the one who forgets about my family. But she said it in a way to kind of hold up a mirror to her mom, but in that moment, it's like her mom didn't really see what she was doing. But Tina said that to her because her mother left her when she was very young in the film. And for her mother to say that, it just showed the narcissistic dynamic that Tina had been putting up with. But you see Tina, she understands how her mother is. She's come into acceptance for how she is. And she lets her mother know in a very subtle way that she's not the one who forgot about the family. Like, she was strong in her roots, and it was something that was very difficult for her to do because she didn't understand why her mother left her and took her sister instead of her. But that's what we see. You never see her really lash out at her mother. She forgave her mother. She had an acceptance for who her mother was, knowing she couldn't change her, but that it wasn't worth it for her to keep putting energy into that when she was capable of creating her own happiness. And that's what she did. So that's what Spirit is emphasizing here, that dynamic between mother and child, that it's essential to forgive so that you can create your own happiness and move forward, okay? Your next card is Impasse. So yeah, so the man on the card here, he's standing in the middle of the road, not sure which way to go. So Spirit is showing me that you're feeling very stuck in a situation in your life right now. And this could epitomize anything. It could be a relationship, it could be a job, it could be a situation with another person, a friendship of some sort, but there's this very stuck energy. And what Spirit is showing me from the film, What's Love Got to Do with It, is how Tina felt very stuck in her circumstance with Ike. As the film goes on, you see how toxic of a person he is. And it's very interesting because while she lived with her mother, who was very narcissistic, in the beginning, the mother was leaving because she had a husband who was abusing her. She says, I'm not going to let him hit me anymore. And that's why the mother took the other daughter and left. And Tina manifested a similar cycle within her family. She manifested a partner who was very toxic, narcissistic, and abusive. And you see that dynamic as the film goes on. But the situation gets so bad that she gets to this point where she feels so stuck, like she can't do anything. And there are multiple times in the film where she's like, I can't leave him. I can't leave him. I can't do this. So Spirit is showing me that you're in this similar energy right now where you feel like you just need some, like the light to open up to show you what to do. And the energy of how Tina felt in the film about being stuck is what Spirit is showing me, those same emotions that you're feeling right now. So let's see what some of your other cards say here to help with that energy, to get some forward movement going here. We have the Dancers in reverse, and this is the Lovers. So the Lovers in reverse here. So Spirit is showing me that right now there actually is light being shined on a certain relationship dynamic in your life right now. It's like you're seeing someone for the first time, who they really are. And this is very interesting because as we're watching the film, the audience sees Ike for who he really is. And it can be very difficult to watch Tina be so blind to that. But he puts her down countless times throughout the film. And these are things that Spirit is holding up a mirror. There's somebody here who isn't valuing you, okay? And they want me to show specifically the scenes from the movie. So when Tina first meets Ike, she is enamored by him. But the way he treats her from the get-go, she doesn't see it. There's a scene in particular that I'm being shown where he's sitting down playing a song on a piano and he asks her to come and sit next to him. And he asks her to open up her mouth and she thinks that he is going to kiss her. And she opens up her mouth waiting to kiss and he goes, oh, you got some cavities back there. You need to go to the dentist. And this was like a very vulnerable moment for her because she thought he was going to kiss her. And then he put her down by telling her that she needed to go get her teeth fixed. Like, how romantic, right? Like, it was ridiculous. And then, as it goes on, she starts a sexual, intimate relationship with him. And after sleeping with him for a little while, they just got done performing and she's in the makeup room getting ready. He comes over and gives her a hug and a kiss and tells her that she put on some weight. And she's like, oh, like he just made her feel so self-conscious about herself. And you really feel for her in that moment. You're almost like, well, stop putting up with that. Like, it makes you angry because you're seeing how he's treating her. Like, the audience sees how Ike is, but it's infuriating because she doesn't see it. So there is a light being shined on a person in your life right now who is very toxic, very narcissistic, who has been known to put you down even. And it's like similar dynamics to how Ike treated Tina. So those are things to pay attention with, okay? Like, Spirit is holding up a mirror to these things so that you can see them and see this person for who they really are. And make the necessary changes to move away from that energy, because you don't deserve to be treated this way. But it's this stuck energy here, feeling like you're held back because of this person. Spirit is shining light and helping you move out of that right now, okay? So the next card we have is Temperance in reverse. So yeah, this just reiterates another message of disharmony in a relationship. And this is all about wounded masculine and wounded feminine energy. And Ike represents wounded masculine energy, and Tina represents wounded feminine energy. But Tina also, like the scene that I'm being shown is when Ike learns how brilliant of a singer that Tina is. She has this very, like, strong voice, and he actually says to her in the film, he goes, "I've never seen a woman sing like a man the way that you do." So she too was very dominant in her masculine energy. There was a lack of feminine energy here, but Ike was very wounded in his masculine energy, and that's why he acted the way that he did. Certain life events that led to that. But Spirit is showing me that there needs to be a balance in your situation right now with your masculine and your feminine energies. Because when both of those are in balance, any stuck energy, it clears away the confusion. And I'm being told to share a story here with you. I too have been dominated in my masculine energy for the vast majority of my life. And I did a meditation to balance both masculine and feminine energies within myself. And I actually saw the fog in my brain like clear away. So when you balance those two energies, any confusion, any stuck energy, it moves out because you're bringing balance within yourself between those two energies. So that is the message here, to balance masculine and feminine at this time. That will help you get out of this stuck energy, and you'll have more clarity, because Spirit is holding up a mirror to your situation right now. Next, we have no guts, no story. So that is what this movie is all about. What's love got to do with it? This story wouldn't have been shared with the world if Tina hadn't had major breakthroughs in what she was afraid of. Like, I'm being shown all of the scenes in the film where she is courageous and gets out of her comfort zone. The very first one was when she goes to the club where Ike likes to listen to other women sing. They'll pass around the microphone. Well, the microphone comes to her, and she very could have easily said, no, I'm not going to do that. But no, she took the microphone and she showed that room what she was made of. She sang her heart out to that room, and people felt it. Like her passion just exuded through the room. She got out of her comfort zone, and she showed what her unique gifts and talents were with that particular group of people that night. And Ike took notice of that. He saw her talent. He saw how amazing she was. And there's many other moments throughout the film where she explores getting out of her comfort zone. She tries to leave Ike a few times throughout the movie to get out of the relationship, to move away from it. But because he would just keep coming after her, she would go back to him because she didn't feel like she had any other options. But the point of the matter is that she tried. She did her best to try to get away from him with the knowledge she had at the time. Like, to have guts to do that, that was just another crucial piece of her story that was shown to the world through this film that many people resonate with, because people in this stuck energy, such as what you're feeling right now, hearing stories like that and seeing people get out of it is really empowering and inspirational, and it shows people that there is a way, that you don't have to stay in this stuck energy. But Spirit is saying to get out of your comfort zone right now, that without guts, you have no story. And if Tina hadn't exuded her courage, her strength, her guts, we wouldn't have seen this amazing movie and heard her story and seen her strength, because this is one empowering divine feminine. So you have to have guts to get to your story, okay? And you will. You will. There's just a need to do some more balancing between your energies right now. Next, we have the Hermit. So Spirit is saying this is a time to really have some alone time, some solitude, to really reflect on your current situation right now and what it is you truly want out of life. What brings you joy? This is very essential to your journey because it will help you get clear with what it is you want out of your life. Taking this hermit time to spend time alone with yourself in meditation. And I'm actually being shown the scene where Tina learns meditation from a soulmate friend. So I do feel like you have some very strong soulmate friends with you, some of which who are very spiritual too, is what I'm being shown, who can teach you certain spiritual aspects through meditation, through prayer, through a spiritual, like-minded community I'm even seeing here. Things that you can use as resources in your alone time. Like I'm being shown the scene where Tina Turner's friend teaches her the very powerful Buddhist chant, Nam Yo Harenge Kyo, and she would repeat it over and over and over. And it was in those moments that she built her strength in mind, body, and spirit. So alone time, just like Tina would do, she would go into another room. I'm being shown this scene where she would go into another room and she would chant that, and Ike would be in another room, and he'd tell his friend, he goes, turn up the music, just so it would like drown out her chanting. But she was in another room. She took that alone time to do that for herself. She connected spiritually with herself while she was still in this toxic dynamic with Ike. And it's truly what helped save her from this relationship. She helped save herself by making that important time for herself in the film. Very, very powerful. So alone time, meditating, you'll connect with your spirit guides, even if you're still in this very toxic dynamic right now. It will help. It will help you get stronger in mind, body, and spirit, I assure you. Next, we have work through your fears, new moon in Scorpio. So yes, this is just another reiterations of no guts, no story, okay? So work through your fears. What I'm being shown here from the film, What's Love Got to Do with It, is all the various ways that Tina worked through her fears, getting out of her comfort zone. She is an icon to so many people in the world, and her music is felt on a soul level. In the film, Tina Turner's biggest fear was being her authentic self. Her and Ike, they were actually reflections of each other. And she didn't think she had a place in the world without him. And certain moments in the film, you see that he also felt the same way about her. They both thought that they couldn't succeed in the world without each other. But Ike reiterated to her multiple times that she wouldn't be anybody without him, that he made her. And I'm being shown the scene when they are having their divorce trial, and she said, you know what, he can have all the money, he can have all the assets, I just want to keep my name. And that triggered him, and he was like, no, that name is mine too, you can't have that name, and she was like, no, I'm keeping my name, that's all I want. Like, she didn't care about the money, because in that moment she had worked through her fears so much that she knew she didn't need him anymore. She didn't need his stuff anymore. She knew that she was going to be okay with whatever it was she did. And after their divorce, she went on to go work in hotels, and she was spotted by a talent scout who wanted to work with her because she believed in herself. She knew that she was going to be okay without him. She was standing firm in who she really was. And another scene, he tries to come back to her. He shows up with some flowers, and he said, yeah, I'm not doing too well with my music here. And she said, well, I'm sorry to hear that, but no, I'm not willing to help you with anything right now. We're done. And he just showed his true colors again. He too felt that he couldn't succeed without her. Like, she was the one bringing in the money in the relationship. And after that was gone, he felt like he had to come back to her and say that he needed her to be successful with money. So they were both reflections of each other in that sense. They did build a lot of success together, but they both for a long time felt that they needed each other to do that. And Tina learned this through her spiritual practice, that she didn't need him. She could do it on her own. She valued herself to walk away. She didn't need his money, his resources, his time. And she rised into an empowering divine feminine. It's a very beautiful story of growth. It really is. And that's what Spirit is saying, to work through your fears, that you don't need somebody else to be successful. You have everything you need on your own. And Tina Turner proved that to people. So they're saying to follow that example. Next, we have, I can decide today to recalibrate my energy and commit to love and joy. So yeah, Spirit is asking you, what do you love doing? What brings you joy? And they're showing me the scene in the film where Tina is on stage and she's just beaming with this big smile. That is joy. She loved performing for people with her unique gift and talent of singing. And that big smile that she's exuding, that is what joy looks like. What does that look like for you? What is it that puts you in the same energy that Tina Turner felt when she was on stage? What is it that gets you to smile just like that? Because that is what Spirit is saying. Whatever that is, move in that direction, because then you're feeling that love and joy emotion. You're recalibrating your energy to that, and that is where you find your divine purpose, through joy, happiness, love. What gets you to smile, just like singing made her smile. Next, we have align your life. What is not aligned or needs to change? And see how on the card here, it's almost like a mirror effect that's kind of shattered. There are many, many moments in this film that utilize a mirror. There's one scene in particular after Tina had a very big fight with Ike. This is after she had gone through her spiritual awakening, after she had been in mind, body, and spirit. And there's actually a scene where she kicks his ass in a car. Like, throughout the whole movie, you don't see her ever, like, stand up for herself or, like, hit him back. But in this car, she was tired. And she fights him in the car and she kicks his ass. And they go back into the hotel, and she has this moment in front of a mirror. She sees her bruised face and the blood that had transpired from the fight from him hitting her. And she's staring at herself in the mirror, and it was like she was seeing herself for the first time, and she was done. In that moment, she was done with him. She saw clearly her situation, and she moved away from it. And that was the power of the mirror reflecting to her the truth of her situation. And after she realized that, this is when she started to move in alignment with her life. So where in your life do you need to be more in alignment with what it is you truly want for yourself in the world? If it's moving away from a toxic dynamic such as the one she had with Ike, and truly seeing the truth about that, and Spirit is saying it is time, okay? It is time to step into who you really are, which is a divine, spiritual being here to have a human experience and get closer to love. Love for yourself, love for others, and a life that you love because you deserve it. There's another scene with the mirror they want me to point out. So for some of you, I feel a very karmic soulmate connection. And that's what Tina and Ike had in this film. And at the very end of the film, when she goes on to sing her hit song, What's Love Got to Do With It? She's in her dressing room. Ike comes in and he pulls out a gun like he's going to kill her. But they're both staring at each other through the mirror. They're seeing each other for who they really are. And there was something to do with the mirror. He was staring at her through the mirror. She was staring at him through the mirror. She got to him. She was like, what are you going to do? Are you going to kill me? She goes, do what you got to do. I'm done with this shit, you know? And in the mirror, he was taken aback, and you actually see his eyes water. You actually see some real authentic emotion come from him. And it was that moment when they're staring at each other through the mirror. Because it was that moment where she broke that karmic pattern with him. She was done with it, finally. And I feel on an energetic level, this was something that they were reliving for many, many lifetimes in past lives. But that was the moment where she broke the cycle once and for all. He saw her for the strong woman she is, and she saw him for who he really was. They were both looking at each other in the mirror, and it was almost like, we know we're done with this pattern. So there's a karmic cycle in your life right now, very similar to that, where with the dancers in reverse, light is being shined on that, and you are coming into who you really are. You're seeing other people for who they really are, and you're moving more in a direction of value for yourself, and also other people valuing you because you value yourself. Your final message is from the Divine Feminine deck, Bridget, the goddess of the eternal flame. I am an eternal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. So the scene that I am being shown is from the very beginning of the film when Tina Turner, Anime, she was a very young child and she's singing in the church. She's actually singing a song, This Little Light of Mine. And she was shining her light so bright. And the older lady who was composing and directing the singers kept looking over at Tina and she said, we don't sing like that in this church. And Tina just kind of looks at her like, okay, but she still brings the same enthusiasm. And the teacher grabs her by the ear and she takes her outside. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is like right as the teacher is closing the door, you see her like dancing like at the door. It's just so cute. But the point of the matter is that even though that teacher was telling her to dim her light, she continued to shine her light. And that is what Spirit's message is for you. Do not let anyone dim your light, okay? You are here to shine bright. So ignite that flame within yourself, exude it out from the world, and let your light shine. That little light of yours, you're going to let it shine, okay? Just like Tina Turner did in this film. But I'm also being shown how strong she was even as a child to defy a teacher like that. So I'm picking up on similar energy from you. All of that is within you. So tap into that and create your own happiness. Forgive those that you need to forgive. Move away from who you need to move away from. Spend alone time in meditation, reflecting on your situation. And also chanting would be very powerful, just like she did in the film. Remember what your joy is, what makes you smile like Tina does in the film when she's singing on stage. What puts a smile on your face in your life like that? Recalibrating your energy, balancing your masculine and feminine, and remembering that without guts, you have no story. So that is all that I am seeing, pile number 1. Those are your channeled messages from the film, What's Love Got to Do With It? If your reading resonated, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hello, pile number 2. Welcome to your reading. What are your channeled messages from the film, What's Love Got to Do With It? I have your pile right here. Let's see what your cards say. We have the Shekinah, Sacred Self. Unleash your spirit. Express your gifts. Dance to the sacred rhythm of life. So yeah, Spirit is saying this is a time to unleash your gifts in the world. And I'm being drawn to dance to the sacred rhythm of life. I'm being shown the scenes where Tina Turner is dancing on stage. And when she was on stage, that was literally her fulfilling her divine mission here. And just the energy that she had on stage, like spinning around. I'm being shown that scene where they're singing, rolling, rolling on the river, and then she has that outfit that like it spins around and there's like all these it's like one of those go-go girl dresses from the 20s, but when she spins around it's this gold dress she's wearing. That's the scene that Spirit is showing me. They want you to approach your gifts and talents, your spirit, just like she does when she's dancing to that song. Like that is what Spirit is saying, to go at it with more enthusiasm, more joy and energy, and dance to the sacred rhythm of life, just like she is doing on that stage every time she steps on it. Next we have creation. Your divine mission here is linked to a artistic, creative expression of some sort. So what I'm picking up on here is that there is a fear of what other people think, because within the movie, what I'm being shown is Tina Turner, she wanted to write some original songs of her own, but Ike would always shoot down her ideas. And she said, well, your songs sound all the same. They're very similar. Let's do something new and cool. And he didn't like that. So I'm seeing with what you're creating, there's a fear here around what other people think or how people react to what your artistic creative expression is. And Spirit is saying to let that go. Because when Tina Turner does finally let go of that fear, she transcends into her sacred self. She transcends into the Shekinah, the energy of the Shekinah, which she looks very similar to the Shekinah on this card, so that's cool. But unleashing your gifts, your spirit and putting your energy into that, exuding your passion, that is what people really resonate with. And it's time to step in fully and live life fully with what it is you are here to do, with whatever you are passionate about. So say yes to life, say yes to your passion, say yes to your creativity, because that is the path of your journey in life here. So let go of what other people think. Next, we have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So yeah, Spirit is showing me that you have had some difficult times financially. So that is also has created a barrier to really stepping in fully to what it is you want to create and stepping into your sacred self. But with the Five of Pentacles in reverse, that means that the hardships, the difficulties are coming to an end. And I'm being shown the scene in the film where Tina finally makes the decision to get away from Ike. She leaves him in a hotel room after they just had this very big fight within this car. And she makes a decision after doing some self-reflection, looking in a mirror, to leave him once and for all. And she goes to a nearby hotel, and her face is all battered and bruised from having been in this fight with Ike. And she tells the man behind the counter, hey, look, I've got 36 cents right now, but if you give me a room, I promise you I will pay you back. And he said, you know what, it's on the house. Support came in when she needed it because she had moved in a direction that was her divine purpose, her divine life mission. She moved away from the toxic energy and she started stepping into more of who she was and what she wanted to create for herself. She didn't let her financial situation hold her back. She was strong enough to ask someone for help, and she received that support. So Spirit is showing me that there are many supportive people around you right now who would help you financially. It's just a matter of asking for what it is that you need in this moment, because many people have that good-hearted nature, just like that man that was working at the hotel had when he helped Tina get a room when she only had 36 cents to her name, because Ike was holding on to all of their assets and their money. So there is a lot of support, and you're coming out of this financial hardship, difficult phase of your life right now. So this is even more reason to step into your sacred self and creative art expression at this time as well. Next, we have the Seven of Pentacles. So yeah, this is your message, your sign to keep going, but also to remember to practice gratitude for every little victory you experience on the way. Okay, so there are seeds being planted. Spirit is showing me you are planting the seeds, you're putting in the work, you're doing what you need to do. It's just a matter of really letting go of those fears. Keep moving forward despite the fears that you were having, because that's where you will experience the biggest breakthroughs. But they're showing me the scene in What's Love Got to Do with It, where after Tina divorces Ike, she starts working at these hotels. And she's planting her seeds because she knows she has the talent and she's doing what she loves. That is all that matters. And one night in particular, after she had planted all of these seeds from this Seven of Pentacles energy, there is a talent scout in the audience who sees her performing, wants to work with her, and that is what leads her to the next level of success in her life. So this is what Spirit is showing me. You are closer than you think. See how the tree, the little plant here, is starting to sprout? It's starting to bloom. The energy has gained momentum. This is your sign to keep going, because you don't know where that talent scout who that divine connection is that is going to step into your life and propel your journey to the next level. And it's because you're putting in the work. So keep going. Pile number 2, keep going. Next we have, better things are coming. And Spirit is showing me, after that talent scout signed Tina Turner, she recorded the song What's Love Got to Do With It, and it went on to be number 1. She won a few Grammys for it. It really propelled her music career. So this is just another confirmation. Better things are coming. Keep going with what it is you are creating. You are closer than you think. Have faith. Keep putting in the work. Keep doing what you love, because that joyful emotion, it is propelling you further so much more than you know. Next we have the 7 of coins, which is the 7 of pentacles. So you got the 7 of pentacles twice. So you are really, really close. But there's also a message with this card to plan carefully for the long term. So make sure that you are also thinking about that with certain decisions that you are making at this time, making sure that you are solidifying things for the long term with what it is you're creating as well. So double confirmation here with the 7 of Pentacles. You are closer than you think, for sure. So that's twice. 7 of Pentacles twice. Your seeds are about to literally sprout into a tree. So that's very beautiful, pile number 2. Next, we have the end of a tough cycle approaches. Full moon in Capricorn. And what I'm feeling energetically from this is a karmic soulmate connection, very similar to that of what Tina had with Ike. Because they were karmic soulmates. They were reflections of each other as well. And the cycle does eventually get broken as Tina stands firm in her self-love for herself and the empowerment that she had really cultivated within herself. But while she was working at these hotels and planting the seeds, Ike came back into her life wanting to work with her, but she had to put her foot down and break that cycle. So Spirit is showing me that there is still this dynamic with a karmic soulmate in your life right now that you need to fully let go of. It's almost like the same energy of having already walked away, but this person from the past coming back and still wanting to engage with you in some way or work with you in some way. And this is basically a test from the universe to say, are you going to continue to go back to that, or are you going to step into who you really are and move forward into more divine connections, more healthy soulmate connections, okay? Because this cycle, the end of a tough cycle approaches. What had to be learned from this connection, I'm seeing it has already been learned because you're at the end of the cycle. So stay firm in the decisions you have made about this connection, okay? You are on the right path. Don't go back to energy that didn't value you. Stay in your own valued energy that you're having for yourself, because you're about to have a very, very big breakthrough is what I'm seeing. Next, we have appreciation dissolves all blocks to the presence of my super attractor power. So that's what I was also picking up on with the 7 of Pentacles is while you're still waiting for that tree to fully bloom, Spirit is saying to practice gratitude for everything you've experienced in your journey, everything that you love in your life, all the connections that you have made right now. Practice gratitude, because gratitude will raise your vibration and propel you even quicker to the results that you are looking for. So be grateful for where you're at right now. It is where you are meant to be. It's just important to take time, step back, and appreciate everything you have created for yourself. The seeds that have started to sprout, even though it's not a full-bloom tree yet, be grateful for that little sprout, okay? Give that seed that is starting to bloom love with your appreciation and gratitude, and just watch it continue to grow because you're watering it with love and thankfulness energy. We have the crumbling. What are you clinging on to? Okay, so Spirit is showing me in terms of this karmic soulmate or old ways of thinking that you're still holding on. Like the crumbling is wanting to take place right now, so to propel you into this new energy beyond this tower. What is it that you are still holding on to that you need to let go of? And that's what I was picking up on with the karmic soulmate, the one who might be coming back in your life, and it's kind of like, well, what if? No, if this is something you've already walked away from, continue to move forward. Let go of what no longer serves you. The lesson has already been learned from that relationship, okay? There are bigger and better things coming your way. So don't cling to something that is no longer meant for you on your journey. There's something better in store for you, group number 2. Because Tina, she was tested again when he came back into her life 2 separate times after they divorced, and she stood firm in her power. She said no, and she was done with him. She was ready to continue to shine her light even brighter now that she had moved through the shadow work and had her spiritual awakening. Akhilanda, the goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. And that is what happens with Tina Turner. She had a journey of ultimate self-love. And this is why this movie is so amazing, because it's raw, it's real, it's authentic. You see her from a very young child to a young adult, into an adult, all the struggles, all the obstacles, and how her situation with Ike is what truly liberated her after she finally let go of what no longer served her. This was a situation she learned so many lessons from. And one thing Ike Turner did not realize is how strong he was teaching her to be with his narcissistic tendencies. So everything that she experienced, it happened for her and not to her. So that's what Spirit wants you to know. All of your difficult experiences that you've had in your life, it has happened for you and not to you. And it's ultimately leading you to your liberation. True self-love for yourself. I choose to become only more love. And having that type of love also comes with setting those healthy boundaries that Tina did eventually learn after many years of heartache that she experienced with Ike. But I'm seeing that you are at the end of that cycle, like just like at the end of the movie. That's the energy that I am feeling. Something beautiful is really about to bloom in your life, pile number 2. So continue to unleash your spirit and dance with life, just the way Tina Turner danced on stage every time she performed. Step into your artistic expression, knowing that financial situation that you're going through right now, any hardships, there is so much support around you to help you at this time, and that is coming to an end in terms of any difficulties you've been experiencing in that area. But another way to raise your vibration with the 7 of Pentacles twice here is to practice gratitude and appreciation for all of it, the good, the bad, all of it, because it is a part of your journey. It is your message. Your life is your message. and better things are coming. You never know when that talent scout or that divine connection is going to be at a show you're having, see your artwork, see something artistic that you have created to help propel your journey to the next level. You are right there with that plant just blooming like tenfold in your life right now. The end of a toxic cycle is approaching. Let go of what you need to let go of and know that everything in your journey is leading to the ultimate liberation for yourself, and that you are here to only become more love. So honor that. That is all that I am seeing, pile number 2. Those are your messages. If your reading resonated, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, drop a comment down below, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Hello, group number 3. Welcome to your reading. What are your channeled messages from the film What's Love Got to Do with It? I have your pile right here. Let's see what your cards say. First, we have Kali Ma, facing fear. Major spiritual changes are unfolding. This is your chance to soar. Okay, so Spirit is showing me, group number 3, that you are on a spiritual journey right now. And your spiritual practices that you have been implementing in your daily routine are actually propelling and healing a lot of things in your life right now. Tina Turner experiences a spiritual awakening in the film What's Love Got to Do with It? One of her soulmate friends, Jackie, she goes to her house in the film. This is the scene that I am being shown right now. And she learns that her friend Jackie is a Buddhist. And she spends a lot of time in meditation chanting Nam Yo Horenge Kyo. And it's over and over and over again. And she teaches Tina how to do this at one of the most low points of her life where she was feeling helpless. So Spirit is showing me that a lot of your spiritual awakenings, most of you on the reading here, your spiritual awakening happened through a soulmate connection, someone who led you to meditation, just like Jackie did with Tina. That's not the case for all of you, but this ignited a spiritual practice that has really helped you grow in mind, body, and spirit. And that was what helped Tina through one of the darkest points of her life. Was her spirituality. It connected her to her mind, her body, her soul, and she gained so much mental strength from it that it led to her having the strength to leave behind a very toxic situation. So I'm seeing dynamics of that with you as well. So it's very interesting how similar the energies feel. But the biggest thing here is that your spiritual practice that you have cultivated for yourself, it is literally helping you to face fear and to get out of your comfort zone. Like, I'm being shown how much growth you have experienced since you started this practice. And you've really been a light to other people. Like, I'm being shown that you have inspired people that you didn't realize that you were inspiring. So very, very beautiful. And this is a very prominent time in your life where I can see a lot of certain fears are coming up, but because of this spiritual practice that you have in your daily routine, it has helped you to face fear in a different way than you would have in the past. Like, I'm being shown the scene where Tina, she finally has had enough of Ike. And this is after she started her meditation chanting. He makes a comment to her on an airplane, and she gets up and she walks past him on the airplane and goes up the stairs. And she goes, "Go to hell, Ike," and it was like one of the first times you really heard her stand up for herself. And this was after she had cultivated this meditation practice. So meditation is proving very beneficial for you. Like, I'm also being shown how you have stood up for yourself in a way that you hadn't in the past, and you're proving to yourself how strong you really are and how that has always been there. It's just, it has laid there dormant, but certain energies have shifted within you. And with this card, major spiritual changes are taking place. So very cool, something to be celebrated there, because fear is something we should definitely all let go of. Yeah, we use it as an emotion to break through it. It does serve a purpose, but when it comes to holding us back from experiencing certain things that we want to experience, I'm seeing that you are breaking through that right now. Next, we have acceptance. So yeah, one of the major lessons you're learning right now, group number 3, is acceptance for yourself and also acceptance for other people. I'm being shown specifically how you're having a lot more acceptance in terms of other people, not feeling like you need to fix them or change them. And this was a very big lesson that Tina had to learn in her relationship with Ike. She had to come to the conclusion that she couldn't change him, because she did her best to be a wife, she did her best to give all her love to him, but he never changed. She wasn't able to fix him. So she had to accept that. And when she finally did accept that, she opened up a new energetic portal in her life that was able to help her move away from what no longer served her. So Spirit is showing me that you are in this very powerful energy of acceptance. You're learning to accept other people for who they are. You're learning that it's not your job, your responsibility to change or fix anyone else, but also that you can detach with love and walk away from things and people that are toxic in nature, things that you're not willing to put up with, like certain deal breakers that you have created for yourself to conserve your energy. But also at the same time, having unconditional love, not judging someone for that toxic energy, just observing it, having acceptance, realizing they are who they are. They have to learn what they need to learn on their own soul's journey, and this is the energy you have. You're being more accepting of these type of things right now, and that's one of the biggest lessons we come to Earth to learn. Next, we have the Two of Cups. So yeah, you are moving into a solid, harmonious connections. There are major divine connections coming into your life. Very divine soulmate connections, because of the balancing that you have done through your meditation practice, your mind, body, and soul. I'm seeing that you are coming into alignment and you are attracting members of your soul tribe. You're attracting a soulmate love relationship. It's very, very beautiful, and it's because of the inner healing that you have done within yourself. And that's what happens with Tina after she walks away from Ike and she divorces him in the film. I'm being shown the scene when she goes and she starts working at hotels. She aligns with a talent scout who helps her to record the song "What's Love Got to Do with It?" And it propelled her career. And she aligned even more with other members of her soul tribe to support her on her journey, and also to support her soulmate friends as well in whatever way that she could. So, because of this inner work you're doing, you are a magnet right now to harmonious, divine connections on your journey. And that is really beautiful, group number 3. Next, we have the sun. Yeah, this is such a positive reading. The sun is literally shining on you. And I am being shown the scene at the beginning of the film when Tina Turner is a little girl and they're actually singing that song, "This little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine." And she's just singing it with so much empowerment and just like from her stomach, because that was her passion, was singing. And she didn't let anyone dim her light. Like, you're in this energy right now, you're not letting anyone dim your light. You are shining so bright, and the sun is shining on you because of that. It's creating this ripple effect of light throughout the entire world. And I'm being shown how the older lady who was conducting the group, who was directing the singers, she told Tina not to sing in the way that she was singing, but Tina did not listen to her. She kept singing until the director grabbed her by the ear. She was still singing while her ear was being grabbed. She was led out, and right as the door is closing, Tina's still at the door dancing. Like, she did not stop shining her light, even though someone was wanting to dim her light. So this is the energy that you're in right now, group number 3. Stay in that energy, because you're inspiring so many people to shine their light. You're adding value in that way when you refuse to let anyone dim your light. So congratulations. I just love the energy of this reading and how beautiful your healing has taken place. I do feel that it has been difficult, because I'm being shown how difficult Tina Turner's journey was to get her to the place where she finally had that spiritual awakening. But it's those difficult moments in our lives that do lead to a spiritual awakening for the most part. Some people just wake up out of the blue someday, but a lot of times you'll find spiritual people have experienced really difficult things that led to their awakening, and that's what happened with Tina. And I feel very strongly that that's what's happened with you right now. But you're someone who understands that all of it has happened for you and not to you. You're not in a victim mentality. You've completely let that go. There's just more lessons coming up now that you've progressed on your journey, or you're facing fear, but because of your past life circumstances, I'm seeing that it's not as difficult for you, because you're like, well, I overcame that. This is something I can overcome like that. Now, that's not to say that there won't be more difficult things in the future where Spirit is like, okay, let's see how you handle this. But those are messages for another day. Next, we have the important thing is to not stop questioning. So, this is another amazing lesson that you are learning right now. You're learning that we are never done learning. And when we keep asking questions, when we are curious, it actually helps us to cultivate healthier relationships. It helps us learn more about who we are. It helps us learn more about the world. And knowing that you are a lifelong learner, that we're never done learning, is truly transcendental to your spiritual growth. So Spirit is saying to keep that energy, to not stop questioning anything that comes up in your life. Question it. Have discernment for things. Use your inner wisdom from past experiences to question things, because this is what really helped Tina. When she found out her friend was in the Buddhist religion, she didn't put her friend down for the religion she chose to partake in, to believe in. She decided to question it and see if it was something that she was interested in. And she found, by moving in that direction, doing that chant, that she found herself cultivating a stronger mindset, a stronger spirit, and she was moving more in alignment with her soul. So because you were willing to question things and to have acceptance, I'm also seeing for all religions, all races of people, all sexual orientations of people, that your your vibration is raising very strongly, having acceptance for all walks of life, and being curious, wanting to learn more about other cultures, wanting to learn more about other people and what they've been through in their lives, like what makes people tick, what has led people to the point where they're at now. And yeah, that helps create more balanced relationships when we continue to question things and know that we are never done learning. Next, we have the 10 of Cups. So, man, this reading gets better and better with each card. This is ultimate emotional fulfillment. And at the end of the film, when Tina is performing her song, What's Love Got to Do with It? Now, every time she was on stage, she exuded this 10 of Cups energy. But I am being shown one scene in particular after she had a fight with Ike before she went on. He wasn't being compassionate with her situation. She had just got out of the hospital for having anemia, and he was more concerned with the money and her performing no matter what. He didn't care about her well-being or her mental health. And there's one scene that is so powerful because 10 of Cups is being solid in emotions. She's standing on stage. She just went through some shit with Ike, and she's not up to performing for the people. And it's that song, You're Just a Fool, You Know You're in Love. And this tear comes down her face. And it just reminded me of how celebrities are humans too, and they have feelings, and you never know what transpired before someone goes on stage and then they put on that brave face, even though she just experiencing something difficult with her husband. And this tear comes down her face. She doesn't want to perform. She's not in a place mentally to do it, but she musters all of that courage within her, and she still lets herself cry in front of everyone. She's solid in her emotions, and she gives a really amazing performance despite being sick, despite having been in an argument with him where he was being absolutely ridiculous. And this is what Spirit is saying, that you are someone who understands the importance of feeling your emotions. You are strong. You are no longer in a place where you're repressing them. You're feeling what you need to feel in whatever way that is that works for you. But there's also this energy of that scene where she was crying, where she didn't want to do it. It's also this energy of standing up to who you need to stand up to if you need to conserve your energy, setting a boundary and saying, no, I'm not performing right now. I am not up for it. And not caring what the other person thinks. Being strong in your feelings and honoring your feelings. So yeah, a lot of emotional fulfillment due to being so solid in your emotions and feeling what you need to feel, honoring your feelings when you need to feel them, group number 3. Truly amazing. Next, we have the answers you need are coming. So yeah, this was just, the important thing is not to stop questioning. Okay, so the reason why this card is coming out is because Spirit is showing me that you have some questions that haven't been fully answered yet. But Spirit is saying the answers are coming, okay? And this is why they're saying to not stop questioning just because you don't have all the answers you need right now to a particular situation in your life. Everything unfolds in divine timing. What you need to know will be revealed to you when it needs to be revealed. So that's what happened with Tina. She didn't have all of the answers when she was in her relationship with Ike. She had no idea what to do in order to leave him. Then when she went and visited her friend Jackie, she's like, I don't know what to do. I don't feel like I can leave him. I feel so stuck. So there is a little bit of stuck energy here in terms of something you're questioning right now that you have not received an answer to from Spirit. So that just indicates to me that there is something else to be learned, which is why we have the important thing is to not stop questioning. So being willing to stay in that energy of wanting to learn new things, to keep questioning what it is you're questioning, the answer will reveal itself to you when the timing is right. So I do feel you will get the answers you need. They're saying the answers you need are coming, but there's a need to be patient. But Spirit is also saying don't give up on this. Don't give up on the answers that you are seeking. They are coming. So stay in that energy of still wanting to learn more, okay? Because everything was not revealed to Tina all at once. She had to go through all of these difficult lessons to get to the point where she had her spiritual awakening. And then there were even more questions that she had as she progressed further. She found her strength. She continued to learn. She learned how strong she was. And she continued to shine her light despite that, despite the difficult things she was learning. Next, we have, when I make joy a priority, brilliant ideas will come naturally, support will surround me, and movements will form. So for a lot of you, I feel in terms of the answers you need are coming, it's wondering when support is going to come in for you. But we already have the Two of Cups here, so we know divine connections are on their way to you. But Spirit is saying the last little bit here is to stay in a joyful presence, because when you are connected to your joyful presence, that is when you attract support from the universe. That is when movements will form. And I'm being shown Tina Turner's smile. She smiles so much in this film despite some of the dark things she goes through. And when she's just shining so bright on stage, that was literally her joy. That is what joy looks like when you are doing something that you are passionate about. So smile like that with what it is you're creating, what you're passionate about. Exuding that type of energy, and you know that you're on the right path with your joy when you are smiling like Tina is when she's on stage. So keep that in mind, because that is what will attract more support. It will attract more movement in your life as well, because you have made great strides on your spiritual journey. This is a group of major spiritual growth is what I'm picking up on. Next, we have Imrama. Where are you being called to journey to? Okay, so Spirit has a calling on your heart right now. Where are you being called to journey to right now? For Tina, she was called to leave Ike. She had to let go of a relationship that no longer served her. Is there still a relationship here that you need to let go of to move more fully into this energy? So I feel that you are strong enough to do it. I feel that you are strong enough to face any fears because of all of the inner work that you've been doing and how solid you are in your emotions right now. I'm going to place my hand on the M Rama card and see what I can hear from Spirit. Thank you. I'm hearing like tell tales. So there's something here about storytelling or letting your story unfold as you move towards what you're being called to journey to. Like your story is not done. This is not the end of your story. There is so much more. And that's why Spirit is saying, where are you being called to journey to? This is time for the next level of your journey. And it's the next part of your story unfolding. And a lot of you will be telling this story in the future about how you transitioned to the next phase of this journey, which is really cool. What else, Spirit? Thank you. I'm also hearing like a lookbook, like something with taking photos. So I do feel there are some fashion lovers on this pile. Like I was being drawn to how Tina Turner dressed really sharply in the film, like how well put together she put herself and how she presented herself. Like they're showing me some type of a fashion blog or a lookbook taking photos of outfits, like outfit of the day is what I'm seeing. Some of you are being called to move forward on your journey with that, and there's a lot of light work that will happen as you do that. Like some of you are here to spread light in the fashion industry, and to also, I'm also hearing to change perceptions around body image in the fashion industry as well, which is really beautiful. What else, Spirit? Thank you. Yeah, I'm hearing logical. They're saying, how can you look at your situation from a logical point of view? Because you're very well versed in spirituality, is what I can see. But they're saying to implement the logical approach with your spirituality as well. And you will, when you start questioning those type of things, you'll see more portals open for you, more paths open up for you on your journey. You'll see the next steps revealed as you integrate logic with your current situation right now. So that is very, very cool as well. So big journey, continuing to shine your light. We have a divine feminine card for the final card here. We have Queen Esther, the morning star. My ego is in service of my soul, and I trust my soul's divine timing. So yeah, that is what we were picking up on. The important thing is to not stop questioning. And that was where we were seeing things coming to you in divine timing. The answers you need are coming in divine timing. If we get the answers before we are meant to, it would prevent you from learning something that you need to learn, a certain type of skill that you need to use in the next part of your journey. So my ego is in service of my soul. There's also something here about viewing the ego from a different perception. The ego just wants to keep you safe, but the ego is not a bad thing, okay? It's just a matter of speaking to your ego and loving your ego instead of saying, yeah, I need to eliminate my ego altogether. No, you don't. Your ego is actually in service to your soul. It does protect you, it does serve a purpose. But in those moments where it's talking to you about wanting you to stay in your comfort zone or stay safe, hold yourself back, that's when it becomes a problem. And that's when you speak to it gently and say, I know you're trying to protect me. I love you for doing that, but I have got this. And the ego starts to shrink back as you propel forward even more quickly. So everything is happening in divine timing for you right now. Don't stop questioning. The answers are coming. Go where you are being called to journey to. Take baby steps. You don't have to have it all figured out, okay? As you take one step forward, the path opens up a little more. Something's revealed to you. A person comes in, a resource is given to you. Everything happens in divine timing. And because of the work you have done spiritually, you're coming into more acceptance for other people, knowing that you can't change or fix other people, that you can only control yourself. You'll also see very powerful shifts when you make joy a priority. You'll become a magnet to everything that you want because of that golden smile that you exude when you're having joy, just like Tina did when she was on stage singing for people. Two of Cups, harmonious connections coming in right now, shining your light, just like little Tina did at the beginning of the film when she was singing "This Little Light of Mine," and staying strong in your emotions, not repressing them. That is serving you on a very high energetic level, and major spiritual changes are unfolding because of your willingness to face fear and break through it. Group number 3. So that is all that I am seeing. If your reading resonated, if you enjoyed it, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and I will see you on the next one.